they were teenagers. I wanted this to be something that maybe teenagers would be interested in seeing. And I thought, why don't we use the device of a graphic novel to kind of say, this is for you. This is not for older people. This is for teenagers who could be, coerced by the police. So I hope that a lot of young people will see this, understand their rights, and maybe get help so that this does not happen to more people.
I know, as we see, Ta-Nehisi remembers this story from many, many decades ago, but kind of when did this start? When did you learn about this story and start thinking like this might be something you wanted to explore?
Yeah. So I was working with HBO on Eyes on the Prize, the third installment, and we were finishing up, and Sarah Rodriguez called me up. She knew I had done a lot of films about the criminal legal system and about injustice and wrongfully convicted people, or even people who were convicted but treated terribly. So I always like to say it's important that we don't cage and treat anyone inhumanely. It doesn't matter if you've committed a crime. You should not be treated poorly. So Sarah called me and she said, we have this story. It's based on a New Yorker article about these 3 teenagers who were wrongfully convicted, spent 36 years in prison before the Conviction Integrity Unit. They were released. And she said, do you think you would? I was like, Sarah, are you kidding me? But this film was a challenge because they were in prison. Mm-hmm. There was not a lot of footage. There were not a lot of photos. And so we really had to think about how we would bring the story to life in a way that really honored and helped people understand what they had gone through. And so that's what we started thinking about. So then met Ta-Nehisi. And one other thing I'll tell you, which is really important, is Ta-Nehisi said from the beginning, and I don't know if you all remember this, he went to Baltimore and sat down with them. And you had been out, 2 years maybe, mm-hmm. about that at that time. Mm-hmm. And we had a conversation. And they said, some things to us about, they said, are you going to tell the truth? Mm. And that's what it wasn't a challenge, but it was a request. Mm-hmm. And I think it was, Ta-Nehisi set the tone for this film by saying, we go meet you all. We explain what we want to do, what we're going to try and do. But we need you to kind of bless the project. We need you to understand who we are as well. And that's how we started.
Yeah, I was going to ask you guys, I'm not sure if you had a bunch of people coming to you wanting to tell this story, and also just how you even got into the mindset of, did you immediately feel like when you got out, like you wanted to put your story out there more and talk about it? Because that's also sort of takes a lot of work when you have a lot of other things on your priority list.
We wanted our story to be told, but not right away. Mm-hmm. We needed to work on ourselves first. So the first thing was good for us is to get therapy. Inside you go to prison, you're dealing with a lot. A lot of people's asking us to do a lot of interviews, but we just felt like it wasn't the time. We always came together, and we sat down, we talked, we made decisions together, and we all sat down and just said it wasn't the time. Mm.
What was it about when Ta-Nehisi came that you, did you feel instantly like he was the right person, Don was the right person, it was the right time, or?
Yeah, it was at the right time. We talked about it, and from the beginning, the trauma that we've been through, being acclimated back in society, we was just trying to cope and feel the freedom that we had. It was just that when the opportunity came, when she came, it was the right time. And
did you, Don, when you were working out, did you come immediately to the concept when you used the sketches as well, since you didn't have the footage? Did that kind of come to you right away, or was that something you had to work out?
No, it was pretty early. the graphic novelist artist that we used, he had worked on a number of other projects, and I think he did the sketches for this book Monster that my friend Ta-Nehisi produced. And I was always kind of obsessed with the so the artist had pictures of each of them from different stages of life, and then we just I talked about who you were as people. And so I think when you look at the sketches and you see the emotion on the faces of the boys that are portrayed in the art, there's something very emotional, and it just really draws your attention. The other thing is they were teenagers. I wanted this to be something that maybe teenagers would be interested in seeing. And I thought, why don't we use the device of a graphic novel to kind of say, this is for you. This is not for older people. This is for teenagers who could be, coerced by the police. So I hope that a lot of young people will see this, understand their rights, and maybe get help so that this does not happen to more people.
When something I was really struck by in watching all of the interviews and your interactions is how obviously it's like this is something that someone could be so angry about for so long, and you come to it in such a insightful way. But is that, I guess my question would be how do you do that? Is that from the therapy work, from coming out? Is that just you're just enlightened people more than I am? I don't know. It's you're able to give people even that I don't want to spoil, but that hard conversation at the very end, that was nothing I've ever seen before. But yeah, do you?
I think it's a combination of support, therapy, and God. You have to come to a place in your life where we came to that place where you realize nobody really owes us nothing, right? HBO gave us a platform, right? Gave us a voice, and in our lives, we ain't never had a voice. At the age of 16, we went to prison. We came home at the age of 53. Because we ain't never had a voice. We don't even know what a voice sounds like, what it looked like. So to be in a position where a major organization, HBO, will say, I hear you. I feel you. I'm going to tell you a story. It not only gives credence to what we've been through, but it bolsters us in confidence in certain areas in our lives that we didn't have as young men or kids. Even to this day, adults, we still struggle in certain areas of our lives. But because we have each other, we have the confidence of our families and our loved ones, we manage it. So that coming to that place where not being mad. If any of us sit here and tell you that we don't have those moments, we're not telling you the truth, right? The truth is we have those moments, but we talk to each other, right? And we reaffirm the fact that we love each other in spite of everything we've been through. We reaffirm that I got your back, you got my back, and that's for life. And that gives us that push to move past the hurt, pain, and anger. So that's what that is.
I know that is there what is the recourse, or what is there's no punishment that can come to the detectives and the police officers, right? That's just something that's an inequity that's baked into the system.
I mean, one of the things you see that is so it's shocking, and yet it happens all the time, is Detective Kincaid has no remorse.
Yeah, he had not.
No. In his deposition, he says it was a perfect investigation. He would not do anything different. Knowing that they are innocent, he still would do what he did.
Indeed.
I don't even know how to process a person who can't take responsibility for trying, not succeeding, but trying intentionally to ruin the lives of 3 young men who had everything in front of them. So, I think we all have to live with ourselves and our choices. It's not enough, but, and I'll let you all speak to it, but I try not to focus on people like Kincaid because I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by people like these gentlemen who are so honest and clear and loving and are fighting every day for their humanity and to be peaceful. That's all they ever ask, to be peaceful. So
a lot of times when documentaries in this genre sometimes will come before you've had, and I don't want to call it a happy ending, but before the sort of legal conclusion has happened, right? We're watching it, people have been wrongfully accused or people are mistreated in prison, and you're catching the documentary, and then that starts a wave, right, of movement or an activism. And with this, watching it sort of after you've come out and moved through that process, I guess I would ask you, like, what's the sort of ideal, if someone watches this documentary and is really moved, like, what is an ideal thing that they could do, or what do you want? What would you like to see come out of it?
I just hope that when they look at it, not to forget it. Like, in the process of their lives, like, they see what's going on in the news every day in their neighborhoods, even with their children. So look at it and you say, I don't want that to happen to my son or my daughter, because it happens to females too. Mm-hmm. So just giving an insight on what occurs every day, like with the system, court system, the police department, it goes beyond. So when people look at it, I just hope that it gives them insight on the part about what we went through, and that the human factor of that it can happen to anybody, right? And not let it happen again, and not forget it.
I think what I would ask anybody to see the film to do is to put yourself in that person's shoes, right? If you're a parent, what would you do for your child? How far would you go, right? If you're that individual that's going through it, how would you deal with somebody destroying your life? So what I would ask the person to do is to process it in a way that it affects you. So you would know the next step to help somebody that's in that position if it come across your desk or across your life.
I mean, personally, for me, I think as for me, it should be, whereas though when you look at it and you see what took place with us, it'll make you want to do something about it. If it's no more than voting people in that should be in.
Yeah.
And you look at our situation, and you look at what our parents went through, because they suffered. This young man that was murdered, his family suffered. Then it should make you want to make changes in your life. For the people that's in office that's not doing anything, then I think it should make you want to go out and vote and get them out there.
Yeah.
And put somebody in there that's going to be responsible for your child. That's right. They're in that position to protect your child, but if they're not going to do anything, then I think this here should make you say, you know what, I got to do something before it happens. I can't wait till it happens, then cry foul. No, you can't do that. And this is what's wrong to me personally with the world. We wait till the child, God forbid, get killed, then the mother want to strength. No, we need to get in them schools. We need to vote the people in that should be there. And for the people that's in there that's not doing anything, then we need to vote them out.
And lastly, did y'all watch the documentary all the way through for the first time together, or when did you guys sit and watch it, or have you?
It was separately.
Separate.
And when I first seen it, I cried a little bit. It was, yeah. The fact about the witnesses and all that stuff, like, it's just, it just showed a whole lot of stuff, like, far as, on the other side and our side. So, the wisdom from it, people have to see it and not forget it at the same time.
Yeah.
I think y'all, that's a rough question. In the sense that when you in the position we're in, and that's been your life for almost 37 years, you try to move past it.
Yeah.
Right? And to have visual reminder, right, that nobody care about you. People didn't care about you. They didn't care about my mama. Right? They didn't care about Alfred's mother or Ransom's father. They didn't care about us. And to have a visual reminder of it, even though you say you get past it, you can never get past it because it's a visual reminder of all the pain, suffering, the people that you never got a chance to tell you love, you never got a chance to hug them. They never got the chance to see Alfred as a father, as a good man, Ransom as a husband, as a good man, me as a husband, as a good man. They never got a chance to see that. That's a constant reminder of that, right? So to have that, even though it's for the betterment of, I think, of everybody, it's just hard sometimes. It's just hard sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for me, it was most definitely a lot more hard because I lost my father, I lost my sister, I lost my brother. And all that was a reminder. What they have taken, they took from me as a child, 16 years old. When you take a child from their family at 16 and you bring them back at 53, there's no connection. None. They like strangers. Even though we technically we family, but when I see my sisters and my brothers and them now, they are like strangers. You know? I have no connection. And that's painful. Because I want that connection. But it's just not there. So me watching the documentary, well, it was just so painful for me because it was a reminder of everything that they have taken from me. Yeah. And nobody paid the price. He's still at home. He still have his pension. He still live his life. And he still believe what he done was right. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we sat here and we the ones that went through it all.
Well, I really appreciate you guys coming in today and also just participating in the documentary and telling your story. So thank you so much.
Thanks for helping get it out there.
Oh my God, my pleasure.